Yep, I think I figured it out.
What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seat though.
Alright, so it looks like maybe my hunch here was right. So I made this tweet earlier this morning about how I had a theory about these Nintendo Directs. And the reason I put is, let's see if I'm right. Can't make the video until I get home, though. And the reason I stated that is because I figured I'd probably have the answer to my theory by the time I got around to making a video today. And it looks like I was right about that. So we have a rumor that there's supposed to be a Nintendo Direct for the regular Nintendo Switch this week. Even though there is the Switch 2 Direct next Wednesday. And it's next Wednesday. I don't know why I keep telling people that it was next Tuesday. I don't know why in my brain I was thinking it was Tuesday, but it's next Wednesday. Well, there's a rumor that there will be a Nintendo Switch Direct for the regular Nintendo Switch this week. And rumor had it for around this Wednesday. And multiple insiders have been either saying or hinting at this date. Mostly hinting at this date. Which is why a lot of people are like, I don't know. They're just doing random hints here. Does that make sense for there to be a Nintendo Switch Direct 1 week before the Switch 2 Direct when they could have had it last month? And a little while ago, another insider that you may have heard of chimed in on that, Nate the Hate, and he says that he's heard also that there will be a Nintendo, what he believes to be a Nintendo Direct this week around this Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. And he said he believes that the format will be a Nintendo Direct. So that pretty much, in my opinion, settles that. It looks like we can expect a Nintendo Direct this week. Now, what is this theory that I'm talking about? Well, what I was thinking about last night and early this morning was that when it comes to Nintendo Direct leaks, I've noticed a pattern. And pretty much this pattern is that Nintendo itself hates that there were patterns regarding the Nintendo Switch and leaks and the Directs. But more importantly, Nintendo hates to have their surprises spoiled. And that is the point of this video. So I've noticed over the couple generations, when it comes to Nintendo Direct leaks, even back a few years back or earlier in the Switch's life, when I myself used to hear about announcements and also hear about the announcements of a Nintendo Direct before it was officially announced, I noticed a common thing. And the common thing was the large majority of the time when a Nintendo Direct is leaked, the majority of the time when it's leaked and there is a short period between the leak and the actual Nintendo Direct, they more than likely, 9 times out of 10, or maybe even more than 9 times out of 10, they're correct. But when there is too much time in between the leak and the actual Direct, it ends up being a toss-up. And a lot of times, they don't end up panning out. And I think that it's not simply because this is just wrong information. I think it has more to do with the fact that they give Nintendo too much wiggle room to change the date. So like I told you guys before, Nintendo likes its secrecy and it likes surprising. So since the Switch 2, a lot of what the Switch 2 leaked, you notice they've been moving a little bit different and doing things at weird times. And that's simply really to keep people on their toes. And this is another one of those things. So we heard that there was going to be a Nintendo Switch Direct last month. And guess what? It didn't happen. But what also happened was the fact that this Direct announcement was leaked from an insider over a month before it was supposed to happen. And everybody and their mama was reporting on it and expecting it. And that's exactly what Nintendo does not like. So, my theory with this Nintendo, when it comes to Nintendo Directs, and when it comes to announcements from Nintendo, if these leakers give too much time for Nintendo to maneuver and switch those dates, they will do so. That's why you've seen, even in the past, even with leakers that have gotten things 100% correct, if they tell you about something, a lot of times when it comes to Nintendo specifically, a Nintendo specific announcement or a Nintendo Direct, if they tell you too far ahead of time, a lot of those things, you guys notice, a lot of times those dates move. And the insiders are like, whoa, what happened? It's because Nintendo is moving these dates. Now, pretty much it seems like the only way, really, for dates of these Nintendo Directs and stuff like this to leak and actually end up being 100% confirmed is to give the smallest window possible. So if they know that a Direct is gonna be in a certain time frame, they probably, if they want to be correct, they probably need to wait until just a couple days or a few days before the actual event or before the actual announcement, so that it's too late and too inconvenient for Nintendo to switch the times. Because when it comes to like a Nintendo Direct, especially most Nintendo Directs will have third-party announcements and stuff like that, and they already have dates and stuff worked out when it comes to pre-orders, when it comes to demos, when it comes to shadow drops. So if they wait only a couple days before the Direct, it's literally kind of too late for them to switch it up, even if it's pre-recorded, because they just have, there's too many wheels turning. But when you leak a Direct a month before it happens, they're going to change the date. They're going to change the date. And I think that's just something that people are starting to finally realize. Like, pretty much, if you go back and you look at most of the leaks regarding Nintendo announcements, and specifically Nintendo Direct announcements, the ones that ended up being true or coming out on the specific date or timing that the leaker says, has had a very short leak to announcement period. And that appears to be exactly what happened with this upcoming Direct, which, going by what the insiders are saying and also what Nate the Hate just timed in here, probably will get an announcement tomorrow, I guess. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section.